I want it to be the ultimate street car.
And our key is not just to make it work down the track or whatever. We want to make it so you can drive the car.
So Mark, tell me about this acquisition that we are about to experience at some point here shortly.
VJ's new car?
Mm-hmm. Brown Magic new car.
What do you want to know about it?
Many of you have been wondering what's up with the Whitesnake Viper. Well, here is your answer. Originally delivered. It may 1125 wheel horsepower. At this power level, it ran on the street several times and completed its first 5 Ocala half-mile passes, peaking at 191.8 miles per hour.
So when people come out to these events and they really see what kind of car that takes to normally run something like that, that's what makes this even more impressive.
Oh man,
half grins going on, and I'm not sure why.
You have built a vehicle that changes the game of videography while driving.
Then with a more pure Ignite Red mixture in the tank and more boost, it was exercised over 2 runs in Steele, Alabama, where it went 983 at 160 and 1002 at 160. Based on the boost pressure, it was estimated around 1250 wheel horsepower.
Thank you. I said not bad for first pass. 160?
My love for you grows stronger day by
Whitesnake continued to be street-driven at this setting. Then, it was taken to Heaven's Landing half-mile event. Where it ran 6 passes with a best mile per hour of 194.4. Freight train. Achieving high speed is a constant battle with physics. It is time for the freight train. Achieving an amazing manually shifted streetcar that engages the driver is challenging enough as it is.
V-Box at 197. There's no way.
I know, well, you went past us at wide open still.
Yeah, just to make sure.
Right. But,
V-Box said,
that's crazy.
V-Box said 197 almost.
Say what?
V-Box said almost 197.
Well, V-Box is more accurate than the fucking time slip.
You're at the transmission reasonable service limit.
Haul ass until you see God, then brake. Fifth gear in the stock transmission broke on the last pass. That was 11 fifth gear pulls to over 190 miles per hour at 1125 to 1250 wheel horsepower before fifth broke. This is fifth gear racing on a stock gearbox. Now, the car returned to Nth Moto to figure out a transmission solution. Suffice it to say, from May until November, these were some long, bad times. Whitesnake became the first attempted install of a PPG H-pattern dogbox gear set. They taxed all eagerness to be a primary test bed for PPG. Ultimately, the vehicle put down a new dyno number, 1310 wheel horsepower with a slight boost leak. Then, it shipped out to the Dallas half mile. Here, it made 5 passes all above 190 miles per hour.
And that Dodge Viper runs a
Boost pressure at the top of 4th and 5th gears was higher than the 1310 wheel horsepower dyno. 1350 to 1375 wheel horsepower was estimated. The last pass became a record 200 miles per hour, which was the first stock motor Viper to ever hit that milestone.
solo blast down the left lane. A Dodge Viper. And the Viper makes it.
We walk toward desire, hand in hand through fields of fire.
nothing better than the beauty of the top end.
So after Dallas, we took Whitesnake to a drag strip rental to see what it would run with a good launch behind it. First pass, it went an effortless 9.9 at 162. Next pass, a nice slip clutch launch sent it 1.5 seconds to the 60 foot, 4.0 to the 330 foot, and on its way to a low 9-second pass.
EMS, we need you on the track. Fire crew, we need you on the track. If anyone has a camera, a video camera, we'd appreciate you putting it down. Stuff like that doesn't really need to be captured for everyone to see. Just please respect the drivers and let them fix what they got to fix down there. Thank you.
Haul ass until you see God, then break. The motor evacuated the number 9 rod before the 8th mile, dumping oil on the rear tires, catching fire, and sending the car immediately into the right wall at approximately 100 miles per hour, then bouncing off it into the left wall. Unfortunately, the damage is severe.
Brown magic.
The primary good news from this situation was the Gen 5 Viper cabin did a great job protecting Brown Magic. He went from being involved in hard hits to being back in the gym 2 days later. It just doesn't make financial sense to repair it back to life as a street car. This was the second Gen 5 Viper we've seen suffering a severe impact, which was left with an intact cabin. What happened and why? For the sake of awareness, the outcome was an extremely good one considering what could have happened. The irony is that even though the chassis fared poorly, the fact it occurred at a drag strip engineered with safety led to the best possible outcome from a bodily injury standpoint. If this had occurred at a half-mile event, there's literally no telling what the outcome could have been.
Holy shit, no! Shit! Fuck! No!
Now, on to the post-mortem. Recently at Nth Moto, Brown Magic assisted in pulling Whitesnake's engine apart. There's hardly any mystery. It's a simple post-mortem of too much power on the stock rods for too long. Number 9 rod is broken in two. Meanwhile, all the Gen 5 bearings look decent, and the broken rod in question still spins on the crank freely. Also interesting to note that every stock rod failure we know of to date has been the number 9 rod. So how much power was the car making to cause the failure? We know that a failure mode like this is a result of power applied over a period of time, so it's important to consider it in that context. When you are approaching or at the limit, it's difficult to say if it'll last 1 pull or 50 pulls. This was the first Nth Moto stock motor car that was really pushed hard, ultimately ramping to max power by the top of 4th gear and beyond. Hopefully this story's transparency helps anyone planning to campaign these cars with a stock powertrain in a less risky, safer manner. Unfortunately, the limits were discovered the hard way. These limits correlate in line with other shops' experiences. A lot of people ask, what's the safe limit? 1200 to 1250 is probably where you want to leave it for reasonable amounts of longevity. Perhaps a bit less if you make a lot of 5th gear pulls. This is still a pretty fast car. .160 mph in the quarter and 194 through the half is nothing to sneeze at for a rear-wheel drive street car on 19s with such nice manners.
I know. It's awesome. What's going on, by the way? Good to see everybody. Thank you, everyone.
You drove it from Atlanta?
Yeah, I drove down from Atlanta.
The highlight reel of social media can leave everyone feeling like a failure in comparison to each other. This is especially true in this hobby where you seldom hear the bad alongside the good. If one person feels better because of transparency, that's a win. One of the hard-to-believe silver linings is that despite the bad shape of Whitesnake's chassis, almost the entire turbo kit escaped unscathed. As a result, after considering many scenarios, a decision was made to transfer the turbo kit onto another Viper with a mild build. This is the manual transmission's swan song, the 11th hour. They will be gone for the most part inside of 10 years.
Follow the footsteps of Shiva.
I'd be like, okay, now that I got this car, it's gonna make 1,000 horsepower.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of Between Two Radials. I'm your host, Aaron Miller. Brown magic is now orange magic. Nth Moto is a company that I own, and I'm the head of vehicle design and engine calibration work out of there.
Exceed, 1,200 horsepower, maybe 1,300 horsepower.
If you didn't know about what a stock Viper engine looked like, you might think this is like a factory, engine.
100% factory, yeah.
Engine bay, yeah.
We only have a limited amount of time to build these cars while they're current.
The Nth Moto theme is they do everything to like OEM kind of looks and quality and kind of appearance, so that's what's great about it.
Hell, the Viper is already discontinued.
When it gets to stage 2, stage 3, all bets are off. Come back to me then and I'm going to tell you 1,500 horsepower.
It's a lot of fun, and a big portion of that in the last 15 years, like I said, has been incorporating ethanol fuels into what we do.
And, just enjoy driving, really.
It might be the last manual V10 vehicle ever.
I don't know what my optimal Viper would be at this point.
Probably doesn't need to get that back. Just gonna keep it for
So, when these things break loose and this and that, all these guys got out. These guys got out of that industry. You only need to crash a Supra or a Viper once, and you're just done. And so all these new guys coming in, all these,
except for Granted. Except for present company excluded.
Present company excluded.
Info excluded.
I was afraid of myself.
Info excluded.
Like, let's just say members only excluded. But
Yeah, let's go crash a Viper and go buy even a more expensive Viper.
Well, okay,
very good.
Let's put it this way. Let's say you don't really care about cars. You're buying a toy. If you're not a diehard, this is the toy, this is my drug for years and years and years, it is much easier to have a boat.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's really tough to crash a boat.
Yeah.
You know, especially if you just hire a captain. You're gonna ride in the back of your own Supra. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
so.
Got it for you.
He's gonna have a heart attack when he sees what I brought him!
The day after tomorrow. Viper is taking back the streets.
It is I, his chronicler, who knows well his saga. Now let me tell you of the days of high adventure.
Alright, so we got this Heads Cam Z06 full exhaust.
Just basic E85. So, you know, probably makes 600 horsepower. Yeah, 610. 610. So 610. That's a pretty precise number. So then, that's a twin turbo Viper there. Yeah. You're not racing that. No. You're racing the. What year is the green one? Heads Cam 14 Viper. Heads Cam 14. Okay. That's full bolt on, really. That's Heads Cam full bolt on.
The power management on the rear wheel drives is getting really good too.
It is.
It's not at that level.
Well, I mean, but it depends when you want to bestow land missile.
Yeah.
Because as we know, rear wheel drive is getting better and better and better, but still, 1350, 1550, you're at the transmission reasonable service limit. I mean, we're not there with our Tier 66.
No, we're not.
You can't buy a Getrag anymore, so, you know, and not that could do it.
I'm not seeing that flying around on the street. And still do a lot of street racing.
Ready?
Was that a twin turbo Viper? Yeah. That twin turbo Viper said fuck us. Good race! That was a good race!
The relentless pursuit of outstanding manually shifted driving experiences continues.